Tena koutou, Bronson Perich, welcome to the Chrysalis. Just a quick update on how things are going. Now, at this point, we're looking to be on track with the release of my new book, the Non-Trepreneurs Playbook, November 1st. I've completed the rough outline, and I'm going to start putting the chapters together, hopefully within the next few days. Right. Um, I'm excited about it. It's going to be my second ebook that I've released, and it's going to give you a step-by-step playbook on how to go from idea to business with as little money as possible, hopefully none, right? That's what we hope for, but sometimes that doesn't work out, right? And you won't have to quit your job to make it happen, right? So it's right. And I call it the Non-Trepreneurs Playbook. I don't claim to be an entrepreneur. My definition of entrepreneurship is consistent business activity over time despite failures. I know it's long-winded, but there's so many people that call themselves entrepreneurs, and I was like, okay, so how many companies have you registered? I'm just doing it on the low. Oh, just low key. So more like no key, more like non-existent. You know, there's a lot of, I guess, dishonesty in the online marketing field. But if you look up the company name Kakano Seed Limited, you'll see that that is my company. And I've had it registered since 2012. You'll also see my very first company, if you look it up, Māori Tech Electronics, right? So I've been doing this, part-time and full-time business thing for a while now. Haven't always had a lot of success. In fact, most of it has been riddled with what the majority of people call failure, or what I call learning experiences. Right, so in the Non-Trepreneurs Playbook, I teach all my lessons, the things that I have learned, right? Because contrary to what you think, the number one thing that's stopping you from starting a business, it's probably not what you think it is. It's actually the stories that you tell yourself. Give you a real quick example. I've talked about it in previous videos, but I think it's prudent to mention it again. A friend of mine came up to me and told me that he had $1 million idea, and I said, okay. And I said, why haven't you done it yet? And he goes, oh, it's because it's a very competitive market. It's very competitive. And I was like, why are you thinking about the market? If your product is good, make it, sell it, make money. Doesn't matter about the competition. He goes, oh, but it's a competitive market. It's very competitive. And I said, well, if you're serious about this, I can take you through a series of exercises that will allow us to determine whether this is $1 million idea, and it will be able to highlight to you what exactly you need to do in order to get this thing up and running. So I took him through a series of exercises, and at first it was really good. I was like, oh man, this cat really knows what he's doing. Until we got down to the stage, and by the way, this is all in the book. The stages that I took my friend through, right? It's all going to be in the playbook. Don't worry, you won't miss out, right? We got to the part where we were trying to identify which product he should concentrate on first. We never got past that point. And it was for only one reason. That had nothing to do with the competitive market. Had nothing to do with the fact that it's difficult for people in this particular marketing space to distinguish themselves. Had nothing to do with that. It all boiled down to one simple thing. He didn't know how to make the product. It was just an idea up here. He wasn't honest with me. He just had an idea. See, it wasn't the competitive market that stopped my friend from starting this business. It was the fact that he had no idea what he was doing. See, and that's the thing. If you're going to start a business, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot get into business in an industrial field that you know nothing about. You must stick to businesses that you know like the back of your hand. Okay? You need to, in fact, you need to know, if you're going to put any money into a business, you need to know this business as well as you know the smell of your own armpit. That's it. I mean, you have to be up close, personal, and intimate with this marketing, with this business concept. Otherwise, you don't have the expertise to make it happen. That's how much you have to know. And if you're not coming at it with that level of knowledge, don't start the business. If you just want to be that guy in the background that makes stuff happen, well then just save up some money and then be an investor. And invest and help people start businesses by providing loans and investment and all that stuff. But if you actually want to start a business and be involved in the bare bones of it, you need to know. You need to be one of the best in the field. I can tell you stories about people's businesses failing, and it all boils down to the fact that they knew jack all about the industry that they were getting into. They did not know about the matter at hand. This is all going to be in the playbook, and I'm going to go right down into detail, right? So don't worry about not remembering it. Haven't made up my mind what the pricing will be. Probably be around somewhere between $9 to $20 US. Right, and so in other words, for the price of a lotto ticket, you can learn how to start a business. Fair, cool. I think that's fair. Now, why do I have Bitcoin prices? Now, these prices were current since just before I made the video. Okay. So, and what you'll see is that Bitcoin has come down to 3,820 US dollars. Some people say that's a bad thing. I'm actually quite happy. I wish that Bitcoin will drop down to about 3,600. In fact, let me just check that. Let me just check. No, it's dropped down to 38.16. Okay, not quite. Now, Bitcoin is something that I like. It's something that I'm passionate about. It's something that I've already made money on, and it's something that I will plan to continue to make money on. Right, despite some of the little slip-ups that I've made along the way. Now, before you buy your first Bitcoin, understand something. Most of what you hear about Bitcoin is bullcrap. When you hear people speculating about, oh, Bitcoin's going to be worth $10,000 by 2020, sucker please. These janky Johnnies don't know the future. Only God knows the future. How would they know what the price of Bitcoin is unless they're involved in directly manipulating the price? You see, as much as I like Bitcoin, I advise you to approach Bitcoin with enthusiasm and caution. I'll tell you why. We still haven't figured out what gives Bitcoin its value. And that's important because in currency trading in general, the more you know about the country whose currency you trade, the more likely you are to be able to understand what's going on with that currency so that you can make your investment plans accordingly. If you don't know anything about the country, then you are at the mercy of whatever happens in that country. You know, as opposed to if you're very familiar. So let's just take New Zealand as an example. The New Zealand dollar is a currency which a lot of people invest in because it's perceived to be a stable dollar. It doesn't fluctuate. It's not volatile. And because we have a stable government, because we have a relatively okay economy, it's not a rock star economy as some people in my country have described it as. I think it's more like a national radio economy, very slow, but it's functional, right? And we're not in a state of warfare, and so someone who invests in currencies that are stable would like to invest in our dollar, and that's one reason that a lot of people do. That's also one of the reasons that our dollar is actually too high at the moment for our exporters. I mean, it's great for a person like me because it means that, you know, I can buy stuff online for cheap, you know, because one New Zealand dollar is about 70 US cents. In order for our exporters to get really good pricing on their products, they would prefer to see it at about 55 cents, right? So that one New Zealand dollar is about 55 US cents, right? And that means that um, they can export their goods at really cheap prices without having to actually lower their prices. They can just rely on currency prices. That means they can maximize their profits, right? But the thing is that the conditions in a country, along with that country's economy, and along with how people perceive that country, and those are some of the main conditions that give a currency its worth. Right now, like I'll just, and this is pure speculation, I believe the only reason that Bitcoin is worth so much is that a lot of people have jumped on the bandwagon, and there would have to be massive volumes of coin trading in order for it to be worth 3,820 US. I don't think we even know how much Bitcoin is swirling around in the markets at the moment. One thing I do know that is influencing the pricing of Bitcoin at the moment is what's going on in China. Recently, the Zhongnan which is the Chinese central government, they banned ICOs, initial coin offerings, and so a lot of people are not able to use their Bitcoin to invest in new companies. So that's one avenue where it can't be used, and if a currency can't be used, its price is going to drop down, because remember, it is the one of the number one things that gives a currency its worth is how much it's used. It's not how much, and when we say used, we're talking about how people use it, how many people, or how often it's used to buy stuff, and also how many people are buying it on the currency market, right? And now it is rumored that in China, very soon, the Zhongnan or the Chinese central government will move to ban or close down the Bitcoin exchanges, which means that you won't have, it will be quite difficult for people in China to trade Bitcoin. Um, what this means is that they'll have to go back to the old days where you just, I don't know, talk to people online. Hey bro, want to buy some Bitcoin? Yeah bro. What's your price? Yeah bro. Cost this much. I don't know how that would sound in Mandarin, but that's what the basic equivalent would be. Yeah. Um, Now the prices that I've quoted below are from Coinbase. Different exchanges have different pricings. But yeah, I mean, whatever exchange you're part of. Now I quote Coinbase pricing because a lot of the people I know are connected to Coinbase. However, you can't use Coinbase in New Zealand. You can get an account with Coinbase, but you don't have access to the exchange in New Zealand. So just putting it out there, I sell my Bitcoin through localbitcoins.co.nz. Yeah, local Bitcoins. That's the exchange that I use. I do have the option to buy from local Bitcoins. Otherwise, I actually buy from certain individuals I know in the United States, and there's one here in New Zealand that I buy from as well. Because he's able to give me, they're both able to give me prices and sell me small amounts that I'm quite happy with, right? So, how to sell Bitcoin, right? Now, if you're on, so the key is, get some Bitcoin, right? And then the easiest way is to join an exchange, right? Otherwise, you can do what a friend told me. Well, and I'll backtrack to the exchanges. So with local Bitcoins, understand that even though it is a private, confidential P2P system, a lot of traders will require you to provide identification, right? And you can still trade if you don't have identification, but what it means is that your security grade downgrades, and so a lot of the high volume traders won't trade with people who haven't gone through the security steps to verify their identity, right? And so what it means is that whether the more security steps that you go through, you you have the potential to lose your anonymity, but it means that you can be involved in more trades, and you'll have access to traders who are willing to buy and sell at better prices for you. So that's one way. That's the main way that I sell my Bitcoin. I sell it through local Bitcoins. Same thing applies to all the other exchanges, right? There'll always be those ones that don't really care about identification. And then there's some traders on the exchanges that will want you to pretty much give you their name, address, phone number, and the name of your dog. Don't know why, but some people like to be like that. I don't know. Right? Otherwise, you can just do what I've seen some people do. Like one guy I know, he buys Bitcoin in bulk, and he puts a note out on Facebook just saying, "Oh yeah, Che, I'm buying a whole lot of Bitcoin. If you want to buy some Bitcoin, hit me up." And so he'll buy in bulk at a certain price, and then he resells it, makes a bit of profit. So that's one way in which you can acquire Bitcoin. Um, what I'm going to suggest is that even though the exchanges have made it very easy to trade Bitcoin, it's the exchanges and the ease of Bitcoin trading that comes through these exchanges that contribute to the high prices. Um, and so I believe that if the Chinese government does shut down their exchanges, and as other countries seek to reel in and to either regulate or shut down the exchanges in their countries, then there is that potential that the price will drop massively. Maybe it'll go back, to like under 3,000 US, under 2,000, who knows. Um, so I know I'm not sounding very specific at the moment. I'm just trying to keep it simple, and I'm still learning about Bitcoin. It's not my financial future plan. It's just something that I do. A lot of it is out of curiosity. Um, my first lot of Bitcoin that I bought, I've made a profit of that. I've put that profit back into getting some more Bitcoin. I bought at relatively high prices, so I'm waiting for the prices to drop. I'm hoping that it gets below 3,600. That way I'll be able to buy a whole lot of Bitcoin at a cheaper price, and then when the prices go up again, if they go up again, then I'll be able to cash in and make a profit. Otherwise, as the price of Bitcoin drops, I'll continue to buy, and maybe one day they'll rise again. When I've figured out the things that give Bitcoin its intrinsic value, I'll be putting it out there. But that's enough about Bitcoin. Let's talk about the book, Non-Trepreneurs Playbook, my step-by-step guide, my playbook on how to turn your ideas into businesses. This is how I was able to build up a part-time business while working for minimum wage, and then I was able to be self-employed for 3.5 years full-time. So, and I'm very keen to share those secrets with you. And I know that you'll be able to take this playbook and use it to launch any profitable business. And you'll also have a process to eliminate unprofitable ideas. Because that's another thing you've got to bear in mind too, is that if you're serious about entrepreneurship, be prepared to fail. A lot of your business ideas aren't going to work. So what you need is a process to eliminate most of the failures. Right? You'll never eliminate all of your failures. With some business ideas, the only real way to know if you make money or not is to do it. But the ones that are just so painfully obvious that they just can't fly, you'll be able to eliminate them. Or the ones that might be good but you don't have the expertise at the moment to implement, you'll be able to eliminate them or park them for later times where you'll be able to implement those ideas. The way that we're doing it is that I'm running an email list called the greatest email list in the world, and you'll see a link in the description so that you can join that list. I literally have not sent anybody an email from that list at the moment, but when I do, they will be 1, to check if you're still alive, 2, to send you new videos, and 3, to give you the opportunity to purchase products that are going to help you launch businesses, stay in business, and enable you to become an agent for change in this world through the free market. Alright, and so those are the only reasons that I talk to you. Send you videos, check that you're alive, and to sell you stuff that I know works. Right, so join the email list. Coming up to the 1st of November, which is the launch date, there'll be opportunities for you to pre-buy. Right, that way you save some money. Yeah, cool as. I'm Bronson Perich. That's me from the Chrysalis. Have a good night. Bye bye now.